Okay, here we have a vintage Audiotronics model 300E classroom record player, 4-speed, 16, 33, 45, and 78. The serial number 388230. I got this off of eBay. Now, it does work, but it has a couple issues. Obviously the needle's worn out because it's kind of not the greatest sound. It's kind of like fuzzy and broken up a little bit. This thing here, magnet, I had to put on here, otherwise when I go to play a 45, the needle just keeps skipping on the same spot. But there's a lot of vibration I can hear in the speaker, so this thing's vibrating like crazy. The platter's not, but the needle is. So, or the tonearm. So, obviously the needle's worn out. Well, I'm assuming it's probably going to cause the excess vibration. So now if I put this on here like this to weigh it down, the vibration in the tonearm goes away and the record will play. This needs to be re-glued. But yeah, without this on, grab a record. I'm going to show you what it does. Set to 45. This is what it's going to do. Just wait. See, it just keeps skipping and skipping and skipping there. Now, watch me do this with the needle. I hold it there, it plays. Now watch me let go. It goes right back to skipping. So honestly, I'm assuming it's the bad needle that's making it skip. Now, if I put this on here, I'm going to stick it in the middle of the record. See, no more skips. Because now that weighs it down, that stops the vibration. So, will replacing the needle work? For 50 bucks I can get like the original type needle that plays 78s also. Or for about 15 bucks each I can get a separate needle to place the 33s, 45s, 16s, and then just swap it out when I want to play 78s. Now I'll try it with now obviously it works. Now get this off. I'm doing this all in one shot. I know, don't throw the records around. I know. I'll put it back in the sleeve in a minute. I'm trying to do something here. Alright, it's 3 in the morning. Well, it's 2:30. Give me some slack. It says make sure it's powered on when you switching speeds. That's too low, I think. That's 16. That's 33. Because without this off, it'll skip and skip like right around here. So, let me get the lights out. turn that down before we get flagged. Now I guess, let me go get a 78. I haven't tried that yet, so I'm going to pause the video. Alright, got a 78 on it. One thing to know about this 78 though is that it's not in English. It's in Estonia, or Estonian. Mom's side of the family. So, turn it on. Switch it to 78. Let's try it without the thing first. Flip it over to 78. See what happens. That's not 78 speed. Alright, now I got on 78. The speed selector is sticking between 45 and 78. So by monkeying around with it a little bit, just flicked it back and forth. So. Because when I was mucking around with it, I had it working again, and it's dropped back down to slow again. So one thing I had to do with it right out of the gate, because it wouldn't play 33s or 45s. It would go too slow. There's a spring that pushes the drive wheel against the motor, which turns the platter. Well, the spring was probably worn out, so I kind of pulled the spring tight and then cut it off a bit so it would stop rubbing against the platter, and now 33s and 45s are working. Because when I put the needle on it, it would drop down too slow. And the guy said it worked. Yeah, right. I had to monkey around with it a little bit. So, probably monkey around with it a little bit more. I gave this tone arm some zoom spout, thinking maybe it just didn't want to move that good or something. I gave the platter a little bit of zoom spout, gave the motor a little bit of zoom spout. So, I have to look around inside and see why it doesn't want to stay on 78. So, let me muck around with that. What you're looking at now is the speed selector mechanism, all mechanical. It's set at 16 now, and all it does is this thing just goes up and down the right against the motor, which is right here. The motor's single speed, and this rubber wheel here, and it presses up against there like that, is what makes it run. Almost like there's a forced selection, because you got 16, 33, 45, 78. It was like almost 2 notches between 45 and 78. So there's a little springy here. I had to really tight pull and tighten, and then snip off the access to make it work. This is the shaft here. Gave it a little bit of zoom spout. Maybe I'll give it a little bit more for the heck of it. I don't know if I should oil anything on this chassis or not. Try and see what happens. I'm kind of afraid to, but let's see if we can grease. This slides back and forth here. Sliding oils what it kind of needs. I don't want to give it like wet lithium grease because I don't know what that would do. But now let's monkey around with it some more. Be right back. Well, I oiled it and it's still acted up a little bit. But as long as it stays on there, let's see what happens here. You know, how often am I going to play 78s? Like I say again, it's in Estonian. That's where my mom came from. Alright, enough of that crap. I don't have any 16s. But all the speeds work now since I adjusted that spring. Maybe as I use it more, it might break in some more. But let me know if you got any ideas on why it skips without the magnet. Is it because the needle's bad? You know, should I just get the two separate needles, and if I want to play 78s, pull out the 33 and slide the 78 in? Or I spend the $50 and get the flipper? You know? Give me some ideas. Because even on the 78, when I took this off, it still skipped. So I put this on and it plays. So as obviously there's vibration in here. I think that's what's causing it. The platter's not vibrating, just this thing is. So I'm assuming the needle's just that worn out. It's probably the original needle that's been in here since this thing was made. And you know, coming from the classroom, who knows how many hours is on this thing. Little night light here, if you can see or not. Yeah. So, let me know. Thanks for watching.